Hey guys, so WWE Stomping Grounds 2019 went down tonight, and it was a mixed bag of a pay-per-view. Started out really hot, kind of simmered down toward the end. So without any further ado, let's bounce into it. Before I get to that, you may notice I'm in a different location. About to head out of town on a trip tomorrow morning, so that's why I'm in a different location filming this video. So this will be the last time you see me for a week. But anyway, back to Stomping Grounds 2019. First match on the kickoff show, triple threat match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Tozawa versus Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak. This is a really good match. Another reason why people need to tune in 205 Live, see matches like this with the high octane offense, the dazzling performance of athleticism by the cruiserweights that is put on every week on 205 Live. Full display here. Tozawa, Gulak, and Tony Nese killed it. This was a very exciting match. Lots of cool spots. As I said, lots of fast-paced action. In the end, though, there was a new cruiserweight champion. Drew Gulak got the win, and he did not pin Tony Nese, so there will be a continuation of this feud between them. Tony Nese has a legit gripe as he did not lose the belt. It was Tozawa who took the fall. But in the end, Drew Gulak is your new 205 Cruiserweight champion. After that, it was the Raw Women's Championship, Lacey Evans versus Becky Lynch. It was another good match. Didn't live up to the bar that the Cruiserweight Championship match set. But this was another very good match between Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch. In the end, though, Becky Lynch got the win. She retains the Raw Women's Championship and kind of sets something up for later in the night, which I'll get to later. After that, it was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus The New Day. I love Zayn and Owens as a tag team. I'm glad WWE brought them back together. Hopefully they keep them back together. They are killing it in the tag team division. This was a really, really good match. Anytime you get four good competitors in the ring together at the same time, Woods and Big E versus KO and Zayn, you're bound to get magic. That's what these two teams produced. And in the end, it was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens getting the win here. I don't think this is the end of this little rivalry. I fully expect these two teams to butt heads later on down the road. But yeah, in the end, it was Zayn and Kevin Owens getting the win here in another really good match. After that, it was Ricochet versus Samoa Joe for the United States Championship. This was probably uh, the peak, or maybe not the peak, but it was definitely like we were still going up in the terms of matches that was being produced on Stomping Grounds 2019. Ricochet and Samoa Joe killed it. Perfect story of like the high octane offense, the speediness of Ricochet taking on the power game, the submission game, the ground game of Samoa Joe. These two styles went together nicely, made for a really good match. And in the end, Ricochet got the win. He hit the 630 on Samoa Joe for the huge upset. He is your new WWE United States Champion. I fully expect this rivalry to possibly continue. They hinted at something with AJ Styles and Gallows and Anderson later in the show. AJ Styles said, "I'd see you tomorrow night on Raw," so it looks like AJ Styles might be turning heel, joining up with Gallows and Anderson again. Either way, I'm fine with that. Styles and Ricochet could have a killer match in WWE using Gallows and Anderson, which is I'm a big fan of that. And AJ Styles, when he's a heel, he is the best. So hopefully they turn Styles heel, have fun feud with Ricochet. Although Samoa Joe could be lurking in the background. You never know. He does have a rematch clause. After that, it was Heavy Machinery versus Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, Team Green, as I like to call them. This was a really good match. The crowd, though, they were in Tacoma, Washington, the home state of Daniel Bryan, so they were fully behind Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, so they were booing Heavy Machinery. And the match itself was really, really good. Heavy Machinery uh, worked good with Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan in the ring. Daniel Bryan was way over in this match, obviously being from Washington. So the crowd was firmly in his corner. They were chanting some funny things like "We recycle." So yeah, they were fully behind Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. And in the end, it was Tucker. He dove outside the ring, took out Rowan, hopped right back in the ring, and Bryan rolled him up immediately as soon as he got in the ring to pin Tucker to beat Heavy Machinery to retain the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championships. A good match. I think Heavy Machinery might be out of the title picture at this point. They're still the Usos. They beat Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan at the last pay-per-view. Plus, whoever wins this KO Zayn versus New Day feud, they may have a legit shot at the SmackDown Tag Team Championships after this. After that, we had the the SmackDown Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss versus Bayley. This is really where the show starts to decline. I mean, it was a really, really solid show up until this point. This is when I guess it plateaued and started going down in terms of quality. Bliss versus Bayley, it was okay. I was pulling for Bliss, but Bayley got the win here. So it'll be interesting to see if WWE continues this rivalry with Bliss and Bayley because Bliss has kind of been on the fence. She's been on tweener lately. They've been having her look like a legit friend to Nikki Cross. But at the same time, this rivalry with Bayley, she looks like she's using Nikki Cross to her advantage. So whichever direction WWE decides to go with these two, I'm totally fine with. whether Bliss manipulating Cross or they make Bliss and Cross a legit team and have them battle for the Women's Tag Team Championship against the Iconics. After that, we had Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. This was a solid match. It started out really, really slow. This really took the crowd out of it, but toward the end, the action picked up. There was a cool spot where McIntyre slammed Reigns onto the announce table, and then Shane McMahon hit Reigns with a coast-to-coast. That still wasn't enough to keep Roman Reigns down. Looks like WWE's going back to that Superman booking style for Roman Reigns because he was able to overcome all of that, hit Drew McIntyre's spear, and get the win. I don't think this feud's over between Reigns and McIntyre and Shane McMahon. I feel like they're going to try and drag this out even more, get a big blow-off match between Reigns and possibly Shane McMahon at the next pay-per-view, which I think is Extreme Rules. After that, it was the Steel Cage match for the WWE Championship. Dolph Ziggler challenging Kofi Kingston, and this hurts me to say. When you got two guys as good as Kingston and Ziggler in a cage, it should never be this bad. But to me, this is probably the worst match of the night. It was slow. They barely used the cage. The ending was exciting though. Ziggler was crawling toward the end, and Ziggler was crawling toward the entrance of the cage, and Kofi ran from one side of the ring to the other and leaped through the ropes over Ziggler. Face plant on the floor, but he hit the ground first, so he wins he retains his WWE Championship. Hopefully this rivalry is over. I'd love to see Kofi Kingston move on from Dolph Ziggler because this match was just not good at all. It really sucked the life out of the crowd. Not a good match. Very slow, I said, and they did not make good use of the cage, but Dolph Ziggler could not get the job done. Kofi Kingston is still your WWE Champion. After that, it was the main event, Baron Corbin versus Seth Rollins in a special guest referee match for the Universal Championship. And they were kind of hinting it might be Paul Heyman. He was in a backstage segment before the match, coming out of Baron Corbin's locker room, so everybody thought maybe Paul Heyman was going to be the guest referee. Didn't know Brock Lesnar was going to be there. But what I thought was a pretty good twist, they made it Lacey Evans. I did not even think about Lacey Evans being a special referee, but they made Lacey Evans the guest ref. I liked the twist. It made perfect sense. They've been bombarding with the fact that Rollins and Becky Lynch are now dating, so they put Lynch's biggest rival as the guest referee in her boyfriend's match, so it made sense from a storyline standpoint. And of course, Corbin and Evans were manipulating the rules to Corbin's advantage. It went from a no countout match to a no disqualification match. And as soon as they made a no disqualification match, you knew Lynch was going to get involved somehow because there was no way anybody could get disqualified. So what happened was Evans was slapping Rollins, and then she hit Rollins with a low blow. This allowed Corbin to take advantage. But as soon as the low blow hit, here comes Becky Lynch running through the ring, makes it safe, helping her boyfriend out. This allows Rollins to take advantage, and while referees were checking on Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch trying to break up that fight, John Cone, the referee who ended the match against Corbin and Rollins at Super Showdown, he ends up being the referee, much to Corbin's chagrin. This allowed Rollins to take advantage. He retains the championship, and him and Becky Lynch celebrating rings all the show went off the air. So it was a mixed bag. Stomping Grounds 2019 as a whole. Hopefully Rollins and Corbin are done. I'm tired of seeing Baron Corbin fight for the Universal Championship in the main event picture. Although he has a legit gripe now, again, because of John Cone. But hopefully Rollins moves on to bigger and better things at this point. I'm tired of seeing Baron Corbin. And as I said, Stomping Grounds 2019 was a mixed bag of a pay-per-view. Kind of all over the place. It started out really, really good. The cruiserweights set the bar extremely high. And that's where the show started at, very, very high. And just steadily declined throughout the rest of the night, which is a shame because Stomping Grounds apparently did not do too well in live attendance. The hype for this pay-per-view was very bad, so hopefully WWE was able to deliver and make people tune in later because of all the hype and all the fanfare the first couple matches. That was not the case because, as I said, it ended on a pretty boring note. And that's all I got for you. Battleground 2009 or Stomping Ground 2019 in a nutshell. Watch the first half of the show. Watch up to probably the United States Championship match, and then just kind of like fast forward through the rest. That's all I got for you. Like this video, feel free to get a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, check out my website, cincyfanzone.blogspot.com. Give me a follow on Twitter and on Instagram. Both of those are at Cincy Fan Zone. Links to all of that is in the description below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a week.